Let's start with a review of property ownership, rights, and land use. What is the primary difference between a freehold estate and a leasehold estate? Is it A? A freehold estate is temporary, while a leasehold estate is permanent. B. A freehold estate involves ownership, while a leasehold estate involves possession. C. A freehold estate is always larger than a leasehold estate. Or D. A leasehold estate can be inherited, while a freehold estate cannot. The answer is B. A freehold estate involves ownership, while a leasehold estate involves possession. Freehold estate grants ownership rights, while a leasehold estate grants possession rights without ownership. Which of the following best describes a fee simple absolute estate? Is it A? It is the most complete form of ownership with no limitations on inheritability. B. It is limited by conditions set by the previous owner. C. It automatically reverts to the state upon the owner's death. Or D. It grants ownership only for the duration of the owner's life. The answer is A. It is the most complete form of ownership with no limitations on inheritability. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Fee simple absolute is often confused with other types of estates due to its comprehensive nature. John has a life estate in a property, and upon his death, the property is to go to his niece Sarah. What type of interest does Sarah hold during John's lifetime? Is it A. Fee simple absolute interest? B. Leasehold interest? C. Remainder interest? Or D. Reversionary interest? The answer is C. Remainder interest. Sarah holds a remainder interest, which means she will receive the property after John's life estate ends. Which of the following is a characteristic of a joint tenancy? Is it A. It allows for unequal shares among owners? B. It can be easily transferred to heirs through a will? C. It is the same as tenancy in common? Or D. It includes the right of survivorship? The answer is D. It includes the right of survivorship. Joint tenancy includes the right of survivorship, meaning the surviving owners automatically inherit a deceased owner's share. Emily and her brother Tom own a property as tenants in common. Emily wants to sell her share. What is Tom's position regarding this decision? Is it A. Tom can prevent Emily from selling her share? B. Emily can sell her share without Tom's consent? C. Tom automatically inherits Emily's share if she sells it? Or D. Emily must offer her share to Tom before selling to an outsider? The answer is B. Emily can sell her share without Tom's consent. As tenants in common, Emily can sell her share without Tom's consent, but Tom retains his ownership of his share.
How'd you do on the first 5 questions? Go ahead and subscribe to Birdsey now and turn your progress into exam day confidence. Ready to jump back in? Let's go.
What is a defining characteristic of a tenancy by the entirety? Is it A. It allows any co-owner to sell their share independently? B. It is only available to married couples? C. It automatically converts to tenancy in common upon divorce? Or D. It requires all owners to be related by blood? The answer is B. It is only available to married couples. Tenancy by the entirety is a form of joint ownership available only to married couples, where both parties have equal ownership and survivorship rights. Which type of estate grants the most complete form of ownership in real property? Is it A. Fee simple absolute? B. Life estate? C. Leasehold estate? Or D. Fee simple defeasible? The answer is A. Fee simple absolute. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term most complete might lead one to consider life estates or leaseholds, but fee simple absolute provides the most unrestricted ownership. Alice and Bob own a property as joint tenants. Bob decides to sell his interest to Carol. What happens to the ownership structure? Is it A, Alice and Carol become joint tenants? B, Alice retains sole ownership? C, Alice and Carol become tenants in common? Or D, Carol becomes the sole owner? The answer is C. Alice and Carol become tenants in common. When a joint tenant sells their interest, the joint tenancy is severed, and the new owner becomes a tenant in common with the remaining joint tenant. What is the primary feature of a life estate? Is it A, it lasts indefinitely? B, it can be inherited by heirs? C, it allows the owner to lease the property for 99 years? Or D, it is limited to the duration of a person's life? The answer is D. It is limited to the duration of a person's life. A life estate grants ownership rights for the duration of a person's life, after which the property passes to another party. Tom and Jerry own a property as tenants in common. Tom passes away, leaving his share to his daughter. What is Jerry's position regarding the property? Is it A, Jerry becomes the sole owner? B, Jerry continues to own his share and Tom's daughter inherits Tom's share? C, the property must be sold and proceeds divided? Or D, Jerry must buy out Tom's daughter's share? The answer is B. Jerry continues to own his share and Tom's daughter inherits Tom's share. In a tenancy in common, each owner's share can be inherited. Tom's share passes to his daughter, and Jerry continues to own his share. What is a characteristic of a tenancy in common? Is it A, ownership must be equal among all parties? B, each owner can sell their share independently? C, right of survivorship applies? Or D, it requires all owners to be married? The answer is B. Each owner can sell their share independently. In a tenancy in common, each owner has an undivided interest in the property and can sell or transfer their share independently. Which type of estate is typically limited to the duration of someone's life? Is it A, life estate? B, fee simple absolute? C, leasehold estate? Or D, tenancy at will? The answer is A, life estate. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the term life estate might be confused with other time-limited interests, but it specifically refers to ownership for the duration of a person's life. Sarah and Mike own a property as joint tenants. Mike decides to sell his interest to John. What happens to the ownership structure? Is it A, Sarah and John become joint tenants? B, Sarah retains sole ownership? C, Sarah and John become tenants in common? Or D, John becomes a joint tenant with Mike? The answer is C. Sarah and John become tenants in common. When a joint tenant sells their interest, the joint tenancy is severed, and the new owner becomes a tenant in common with the remaining joint tenant. What is the primary feature of a fee simple defeasible estate? Is it A, it lasts for the lifetime of the owner? B, it cannot be inherited? C, it provides absolute ownership? Or D, it is subject to conditions or events? The answer is D. It is subject to conditions or events. A fee simple defeasible estate is subject to conditions or events that can cause the property to revert to the original owner. Lisa grants a life estate to her brother, Mark, with the remainder to her daughter, Anna. What interest does Anna hold during Mark's lifetime? Is it A, life estate? B, remainder interest? C, fee simple absolute? Or D, leasehold interest? The answer is B, remainder interest. Anna holds a remainder interest, which means she will receive full ownership after Mark's life estate ends.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? The next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsey.ai. You'll get immediate help, complimentary study sessions, and access to hundreds of additional questions. It's the best tool to help you pass with confidence.
What is a characteristic of a fee simple absolute estate? Is it A, it is limited to the lifetime of the owner? B, it provides the most complete ownership rights? C, it automatically reverts to the original owner upon death? Or D, it is subject to conditions that can cause forfeiture? The answer is B, it provides the most complete ownership rights. A fee simple absolute estate provides the owner with the most complete set of rights possible, including the right to use, sell, or bequeath the property without conditions. Which of the following best describes a tenancy in common? Is it A, owners can have unequal shares and no right of survivorship? B, owners must have equal shares and include right of survivorship? C, ownership automatically passes to the surviving owner? Or D, it requires all owners to agree on property decisions? The answer is A, owners can have unequal shares and no right of survivorship. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Tenancy in common allows owners to have unequal shares and does not include the right of survivorship, which is often confused with joint tenancy. Jessica and her sister own a property as joint tenants. Jessica decides to sell her interest to a friend. What happens to the ownership structure? Is it A, the joint tenancy remains unchanged? B, the friend becomes a joint tenant with Jessica's sister? C, the friend becomes a tenant in common with Jessica's sister? Or D, the entire property is transferred to the friend? The answer is C, the friend becomes a tenant in common with Jessica's sister. Selling her interest severs the joint tenancy, converting it into a tenancy in common with the new owner. What is a defining feature of a life estate? Is it A, it lasts indefinitely? B, it includes the right of survivorship? C, it can be inherited by heirs? Or D, it is limited to the duration of someone's life? The answer is D, it is limited to the duration of someone's life. A life estate is limited to the duration of a person's life, after which the property passes to another party. Tom and Jerry own a property as tenants in common. Tom wants to sell his share to an investor. What must Jerry do? Is it A, agree to the sale for it to proceed? B, consider exercising a right of first refusal if applicable? C, buy Tom's share to prevent the sale? Or D, do nothing as the sale cannot proceed without his consent? The answer is B, consider exercising a right of first refusal if applicable. As tenants in common, Tom can sell his share without Jerry's consent, but Jerry may have the right of first refusal depending on their agreement. What is a primary characteristic of a tenancy in common? Is it A, right of survivorship? B, undivided interest? C, equal shares? Or D, limited duration? The answer is B, undivided interest. In a tenancy in common, each owner has an undivided interest in the property, which can be sold or inherited independently of the other owners. Which form of ownership allows a property to automatically pass to the surviving owner without probate? Is it A, tenancy in common? B, tenancy by the entirety? C, joint tenancy? Or D, fee simple absolute? The answer is C, joint tenancy. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term automatically might lead you to think of any joint ownership, but only joint tenancy includes the right of survivorship. Laura and her sister own a vacation home as joint tenants. Laura wants to leave her share to her son in her will. What will happen to her share upon her death? Is it A, It will pass to her sister automatically. B. It will be distributed according to her will. C. It will be divided between her sister and her son. Or D. It will go through probate to determine ownership. The answer is A. It will pass to her sister automatically. In joint tenancy, the right of survivorship means Laura's share will automatically pass to her sister, not her son. What distinguishes a fee simple defeasible estate from a fee simple absolute estate? Is it A. It cannot be inherited? B. It provides complete ownership? C. It is limited to the owner's lifetime? Or D. It is subject to conditions? The answer is D. It is subject to conditions. A fee simple defeasible estate is subject to conditions that can cause the property to revert to the original owner if violated. Michael and Sarah own a property as tenants in common. Michael wants to sell his share to a third party. What must Sarah do? Is it A. Agree to the sale? B. Buy Michael's share? C. Nothing, as Michael can sell his share independently? Or D. Prevent the sale through legal action? The answer is C. Nothing, as Michael can sell his share independently. As tenants in common, Michael can sell his share without Sarah's consent, but Sarah may have the right of first refusal depending on their agreement.
If you want more than just rapid-fire questions, head over to birdsey.ai. You can take unlimited practice exams and get instant help from your personal AI study partner. It's like having a tutor 24/7. Try it free. You'll find a link in the description.
What is a primary characteristic of a fee simple estate? Is it A. Limited duration based on a condition? B. Unlimited duration and full ownership rights? C. Ownership limited to the lifetime of the owner? Or D. Shared ownership with rights of survivorship? The answer is B. Unlimited duration and full ownership rights. A fee simple estate is the most complete form of ownership, allowing the owner to use, sell, or bequeath the property without restrictions. Which of the following statements about joint tenancy is incorrect? Is it A. Joint tenants have equal ownership shares? B. Joint tenancy includes the right of survivorship? C. Joint tenants can will their share to heirs? Or D. Joint tenancy can be severed by selling one's interest? The answer is C. Joint tenants can will their share to heirs. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, joint tenancy is often confused with tenancy in common, especially regarding rights of survivorship and the ability to will property. Mary and Lisa own a property as tenants in common. Mary decides to sell her share to a third party. What must Lisa do? Is it A. Agree to the sale for it to proceed? B. Buy Mary's share to prevent the sale? C. Convert the ownership to joint tenancy? Or D. Accept the new co-owner as a tenant in common? The answer is D. Accept the new co-owner as a tenant in common. In a tenancy in common, each owner can sell their share independently, and the new owner becomes a tenant in common with the remaining owner. Land use controls, zoning, government powers, and environmental rules. What is the primary purpose of zoning laws? Is it A. To increase property taxes? B. To regulate land use and development? C. To protect endangered species? Or D. To manage traffic congestion? The answer is B. To regulate land use and development. Zoning laws are designed to regulate land use and ensure that land is used in a way that is consistent with the community's development plans and goals. Which government power allows the state to take private property for public use? Is it A. Police power? B. Taxation? C. Eminent domain? Or D. Escheat? The answer is C. Eminent domain. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term eminent domain is often confused with other government powers like police power or taxation, but it specifically refers to the taking of private property for public use. A developer wants to build a commercial complex in a residentially zoned area. What must they obtain to proceed legally? Is it A, a zoning variance, B, a building permit, C, an environmental impact report, or D, a deed restriction? The answer is A, a zoning variance. The developer needs a zoning variance to legally build a commercial complex in a residential area, as it deviates from the current zoning regulations. What is a common tool used by municipalities to enforce zoning laws? Is it A, building codes, B, tax assessments, C, easements, or D, zoning ordinances? The answer is D, zoning ordinances. Zoning ordinances are legal tools used by municipalities to enforce zoning laws and regulate land use. Maria owns a property in a floodplain and wants to build a new home. What must she consider regarding environmental rules? Is it A, zoning variances, B, floodplain regulations, C, building codes, or D, eminent domain? The answer is B, floodplain regulations. Maria must consider floodplain regulations, which may restrict building in such areas to prevent flood damage and protect the environment. What is the primary function of a zoning ordinance? Is it A, to increase property taxes, B, to regulate land use and development, C, to provide public utilities, or D, to enforce building codes? The answer is B, to regulate land use and development. Zoning ordinances primarily regulate land use to ensure orderly development and separate incompatible uses, such as industrial and residential areas. Which government power allows the state to regulate land use for the welfare of the community? Is it A, eminent domain, B, taxation, C, police power, or D, escheat? The answer is C, police power. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Police power is often confused with eminent domain, but it specifically refers to the state's ability to regulate for public welfare, not to take property. A homeowner wants to build a fence that exceeds the height limit set by local zoning laws. What should they apply for? Is it A, a variance, B, a building permit, C, a rezoning application, or D, an easement? The answer is A, a variance. A variance is a request to deviate from current zoning requirements, such as height restrictions, due to unique circumstances. In a residential area, a factory is allowed to operate due to its existence before zoning laws were enacted. What is this situation called? Is it A, spot zoning, B, variance, C, conditional use, or D, non-conforming use? The answer is D, non-conforming use. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Non-conforming use is often confused with other terms, but it specifically refers to uses that existed before new zoning laws.
Did you get a different answer? Or maybe you have a question about the exam in general? Drop it in the comments below. We read and answer them personally.
A developer plans to build a shopping mall in an area zoned for residential use. What must they seek to legally proceed? Is it A, a variance, B, a conditional use permit, C, rezoning approval, or D, an easement? The answer is C, rezoning approval. Rezoning is necessary when a developer wants to change the designated use of a property, such as from residential to commercial. What is the primary function of a zoning variance? Is it A, To change the zoning classification of a property. B. To permit an exception to the zoning ordinance. C. To enforce zoning laws more strictly. Or D. To establish new zoning regulations. The answer is B. To permit an exception to the zoning ordinance. A zoning variance allows a property owner to deviate from the current zoning requirements, typically due to unique circumstances that make strict compliance impractical. Which government power allows the state to regulate land use for the welfare of the community? Is it A. Eminent domain, B. Zoning, C. Police power, or D. Taxation? The answer is C. Police power. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the term police power might be confused with eminent domain or zoning, but it specifically refers to the state's ability to regulate for public welfare. A homeowner wants to build a garage that encroaches on the setback area defined by local zoning laws. What should they apply for? Is it A. A zoning variance, B. A building permit, C. A rezoning application, or D. An easement? The answer is A. A zoning variance. The homeowner should apply for a zoning variance which allows for exceptions to the zoning requirements, such as setback regulations. What is the purpose of environmental impact assessments in land development? Is it A. To increase property taxes, B. To expedite the construction process, C. To determine zoning classifications, or D. To assess the environmental effects of a project? The answer is D. To assess the environmental effects of a project. Environmental impact assessments are conducted to evaluate the potential effects of a development project on the environment, ensuring sustainable and responsible land use. A city plans to build a public park on privately owned land. What legal process must they use to acquire the land? Is it A. Zoning change, B. Eminent domain, C. Environmental review, or D. Lease agreement? The answer is B. Eminent domain. The city must use eminent domain, which allows the government to take private property for public use, provided they offer fair compensation. What is the primary purpose of a zoning variance? Is it A. To change the zoning classification of a property, B. To permit deviation from specific zoning requirements, C. To enforce environmental regulations, or D. To approve new construction projects? The answer is B. To permit deviation from specific zoning requirements. A zoning variance allows property owners to deviate from certain zoning requirements, providing flexibility in land use while maintaining the overall zoning plan. Which government power allows the state to regulate land use for the welfare of the community? Is it A. Eminent domain, B. Taxation, C. Police power, or D. Zoning? The answer is C. Police power. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, police power is often confused with eminent domain, but it specifically refers to the state's ability to regulate for public welfare, health, and safety. A homeowner wants to build a deck that extends into a protected wetland area. What must they consider regarding environmental rules? Is it A. Applying for a zoning variance, B. Obtaining a building permit, C. Changing the zoning classification, or D. Securing an environmental permit? The answer is D. Securing an environmental permit. Building in a wetland area often requires special permits due to environmental protection laws, which aim to preserve natural habitats. What is the role of a zoning ordinance in land use? Is it A. To regulate land use and development, B. To assess property taxes, C. To enforce building codes, or D. To manage environmental impact. The answer is A. To regulate land use and development. Zoning ordinances define how land in specific zones can be used, ensuring orderly development and community welfare. A city plans to widen a road that will affect several private properties. What legal process must they use to acquire the necessary land? Is it A. Rezoning the affected properties, B. Eminent domain, C. Issuing a zoning variance, or D. Implementing police power? The answer is B. Eminent domain. Eminent domain allows the government to take private property for public use, provided they offer just compensation. What is the primary purpose of a zoning variance? Is it A. To change the zoning classification of a property, B. To permit a use that deviates from zoning regulations, C. To enforce environmental regulations, or D. To establish new zoning laws? The answer is B. To permit a use that deviates from zoning regulations. A zoning variance allows a property owner to use their land in a way that deviates from the local zoning ordinance, typically due to unique circumstances that would cause undue hardship. A homeowner in a historic district wants to replace their windows with modern designs. What must they consider regarding zoning and government powers? Is it A. They can proceed without any restrictions, B. They need a zoning variance for window replacement, C. They must obtain approval from the Historic Preservation Board, or D. They should apply for a building permit only? The answer is C. They must obtain approval from the Historic Preservation Board. In historic districts, changes to property exteriors often require approval to ensure they align with preservation standards, which may restrict modern designs.
If you want more than just rapid-fire questions, head over to birdsey.ai. You can take unlimited practice exams and get instant help from your personal AI study partner. It's like having a tutor 24/7. Try it free. You'll find a link in the description.
Legal descriptions, encumbrances, easements, and liens. What is the primary purpose of a legal description in real estate? Is it A. To determine the property's market value, B. To uniquely identify a property, C. To list the property's encumbrances, or D. To establish the property's zoning classification? The answer is B. To uniquely identify a property. A legal description uniquely identifies a property, ensuring clarity in transactions and preventing disputes over property boundaries. Which type of easement allows a utility company to install power lines across a property? Is it A. Easement in gross, B. Appurtenant easement, C. Prescriptive easement, or D. Easement by necessity? The answer is A. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, easements in gross are often confused with appurtenant easements, but only the former benefits a party rather than a property. John discovers a lien on his property after purchasing it. What should he do to resolve this issue? Is it A. Ignore it as it will expire automatically, B. Contact the previous owner for resolution, C. Consult a real estate attorney, or D. Pay the lien immediately to avoid complications? The answer is C. Consult a real estate attorney. John should contact a real estate attorney to understand the lien's validity and explore options for resolution. What is an encumbrance in real estate? Is it A. A type of property ownership, B. A method of property valuation, C. A zoning classification, or D. A claim or liability on a property? The answer is D. A claim or liability on a property. An encumbrance is a claim or liability attached to a property affecting its use or transfer. Lisa wants to build a fence on her property but discovers an easement. What should she consider before proceeding? Is it A, ignore the easement and build the fence? B, review the easement terms? C, consult with neighbors about the easement? Or D, assume the easement is no longer valid? The answer is B, review the easement terms. Lisa should review the easement terms to ensure her fence does not interfere with the easement holder's rights. What is an easement in real estate? Is it A, a type of property ownership? B, a right to use another's land for a specific purpose? C, a restriction on property development? Or D, a financial claim against a property? The answer is B, a right to use another's land for a specific purpose. An easement is a right to use another person's land for a specific purpose, such as access to a road or utility lines. Which of the following is true about a lien? Is it A, a lien gives ownership rights to the lien holder? B, a lien is a type of easement? C, a lien is a legal claim against a property for unpaid debts? Or D, a lien can be removed without paying the debt? The answer is C. A lien is a legal claim against a property for unpaid debts. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Liens are often confused with ownership rights, but they are actually claims against the property for unpaid debts. Sarah wants to sell her property, but discovers a restrictive covenant limiting building height. What should she do to address potential buyer concerns? Is it A, disclose the restrictive covenant to potential buyers? B, ignore the covenant as it is not enforceable? C, remove the covenant through a simple legal form? Or D, assume the buyer will not be concerned with the covenant? The answer is A, disclose the restrictive covenant to potential buyers. Sarah should disclose the restrictive covenant to potential buyers to ensure they are aware of the limitation before purchasing. What is a legal description in real estate? Is it A, a detailed description of a parcel of land for legal purposes? B, a summary of property features and amenities? C, a financial assessment of property value? Or D, a document outlining property taxes owed? The answer is A, a detailed description of a parcel of land for legal purposes. A legal description is a detailed way of describing a parcel of land for legal purposes, ensuring precise identification. Tom finds out there's an easement on his property allowing neighbor access to a shared driveway. What should he consider before building a fence? Is it A, proceed with building the fence without concern? B, negotiate with the neighbor to remove the easement? C, ignore the easement as it only applies to utilities? Or D, review the easement terms to ensure compliance? The answer is D, review the easement terms to ensure compliance. Tom must consider the easement's terms, as building a fence could interfere with the neighbor's access rights. What is the primary function of an easement in real estate? Is it A, to transfer ownership of a property? B, to grant usage rights to another party? C, to restrict property development? Or D, to remove liens from a property? The answer is B, to grant usage rights to another party. An easement allows one party to use another's property for a specific purpose, such as access or utilities, without owning it. Which of the following best describes a lien? Is it A, a permanent transfer of property rights? B, a temporary right to use someone else's property? C, a restriction on property development? Or D, a legal claim against a property to secure a debt? The answer is D, a legal claim against a property to secure a debt. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Liens are often confused with ownership rights, but they are actually claims against a property to secure a debt. Emily wants to sell her house, but discovers a mechanic's lien from a contractor. What should she do to clear the title? Is it A, pay the contractor to satisfy the lien? B, ignore the lien and proceed with the sale? C, transfer the lien to the buyer? Or D, file a lawsuit against the contractor? The answer is A, pay the contractor to satisfy the lien. Emily must resolve the lien by paying the contractor or negotiating a settlement to clear the title for sale. What is a restrictive covenant in real estate? Is it A, a legal claim to secure a debt? B, a right to use another's property? C, a limitation on property use or development? Or D, a method to describe property boundaries? The answer is C, a limitation on property use or development. A restrictive covenant limits what can be done on a property, such as building height or usage restrictions. Mark finds out there's an easement on his property for a neighbor's driveway. What should he consider before landscaping? Is it A, proceed with landscaping without concern? B, ensure landscaping does not obstruct the easement? C, remove the easement through legal action? Or D, charge the neighbor for using the easement? The answer is B, ensure landscaping does not obstruct the easement. Mark should ensure his landscaping plans do not interfere with the neighbor's easement rights. What is the primary function of a legal description in real estate transactions? Is it A, to determine property taxes? B, to uniquely identify a property? C, to establish zoning laws? Or D, to calculate mortgage interest? The answer is B, to uniquely identify a property. A legal description uniquely identifies a property, ensuring clarity and preventing disputes over property boundaries. Which type of lien takes priority over others in most jurisdictions? Is it A, mechanic's lien? B, mortgage lien? C, property tax lien? Or D, judgment lien? The answer is C, property tax lien. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Property tax liens often take priority due to their statutory nature, which can override other liens. Anna wants to build a garage, but finds an easement for a neighbor's driveway on her property. What should she consider before proceeding? Is it A, ignore the easement and build the garage? B, request the neighbor to remove the easement? C, build the garage elsewhere on the property? Or D, consult with a lawyer about modifying the easement? The answer is D, consult with a lawyer about modifying the easement. Anna must respect the easement rights, which may limit her ability to build in that area without legal adjustments. What is an encumbrance in real estate? Is it A, a claim or liability on a property? B, a type of property ownership? C, a method of property valuation? Or D, a zoning classification? The answer is A, a claim or liability on a property. An encumbrance is a claim or liability attached to a property affecting its use or transferability. David discovers a restrictive covenant on his property that limits fence height. What should he do if he wants a taller fence? Is it A, ignore the covenant and build the fence? B, apply for a variance or amendment? C, sell the property to avoid the restriction? Or D, consult with neighbors for their approval? The answer is B, apply for a variance or amendment. David should seek a variance or amendment to the covenant, which may allow for exceptions under certain conditions. What is the primary duty of a real estate agent when representing a client? Is it A, act in the best interest of the client? B, maximize their own commission? C, disclose all offers to the client? Or D, ensure the property sells quickly? The answer is A, Act in the best interest of the client. The primary duty of a real estate agent is to act in the best interest of their client, which is known as fiduciary duty. Which of the following is not a fiduciary duty of a real estate agent? Is it A, loyalty, B, disclosure, C, profitability, or D, confidentiality? The answer is C, profitability. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term loyalty might be confused with obedience, but loyalty is indeed a fiduciary duty. Sarah, a real estate agent, learns confidential information about her client's financial difficulties. What is her duty regarding this information? Is it A, share it with potential buyers to expedite the sale, B, discuss it with other agents in her office, C, use it to negotiate a better deal for the client, or D, keep it confidential unless legally required to disclose? The answer is D, keep it confidential unless legally required to disclose. Agents must maintain confidentiality of their client's information unless legally required to disclose it. What must an agent disclose to a client when creating an agency relationship? Is it A, the agent's commission rate, B, any conflicts of interest, C, the agent's personal opinion on the property's value, or D, the agent's previous sales record? The answer is B, any conflicts of interest. Agents must disclose any conflicts of interest to ensure transparency and trust in the agency relationship. Tom, a real estate agent, is representing both the buyer and the seller in a transaction. What must he do to comply with ethical standards? Is it A, obtain written consent from both parties, B, keep the buyer's offer confidential from the seller, C, negotiate a higher commission for handling both sides, or D, disclose only to the buyer that he represents the seller too? The answer is A, obtain written consent from both parties. Dual agency requires full disclosure and consent from both parties to avoid conflicts of interest. What is a fiduciary obligation of a real estate agent? Is it A, acting in the best interest of the client, B, maximizing the agent's commission, C, disclosing all offers to the client, or D, providing legal advice? The answer is A, acting in the best interest of the client. A fiduciary obligation requires the agent to act in the best interest of the client, maintaining loyalty and confidentiality. Which duty requires an agent to keep a client's information confidential even after the agency relationship ends? Is it A, loyalty, B, confidentiality, C, disclosure, or D, obedience? The answer is B, confidentiality. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Confidentiality is a duty that extends beyond the termination of the agency relationship, unlike other duties that may end with the relationship. John, a real estate agent, is representing a buyer who is interested in a property listed by John's brokerage. What must John disclose to the buyer? Is it A, the seller's financial situation, B, the buyer's offer amount, C, the dual agency relationship, or D, the property's previous sale price? The answer is C, the dual agency relationship. John must disclose the dual agency situation to ensure the buyer is aware of potential conflicts of interest. What must an agent do when creating an agency relationship? Is it A, ensure the client signs a contract, B, provide a list of potential buyers, C, negotiate commission rates, or D, disclose the agency relationship? The answer is D, disclose the agency relationship. An agent must clearly disclose their role and the nature of the agency relationship to the client. Emily, a real estate agent, learns that her client is planning to file for bankruptcy. What is Emily's duty regarding this information? Is it A, inform the buyer immediately? B, keep the information confidential? C, notify the brokerage? Or D, advise the client to withdraw from the market? The answer is B, keep the information confidential. Emily must maintain confidentiality about her client's financial situation, unless required by law to disclose it. What is the duty of loyalty in a real estate agency relationship? Is it A, to disclose all known material facts to all parties? B, to prioritize the client's interests above all others? C, to maintain confidentiality indefinitely? Or D, to provide equal services to all clients? The answer is B, to prioritize the client's interests above all others. The duty of loyalty requires the agent to act in the best interests of the client, prioritizing the client's needs above their own or others. Which of the following actions might breach an agent's fiduciary duty of disclosure? Is it A, sharing a client's confidential financial information with a lender? B, failing to inform a client about a change in market conditions? C, not disclosing a minor defect that does not affect property value? Or D, revealing a seller's motivation to sell to a potential buyer? The answer is C, not disclosing a minor defect that does not affect property value. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Disclosure duties can be misunderstood as requiring all information to be shared, but agents must only disclose material facts relevant to the transaction. Lisa, a real estate agent, discovers a zoning change affecting a property she is selling. What should she do to fulfill her fiduciary duties? Is it A, inform her client about the zoning change immediately? B, wait until the client asks about zoning before disclosing? C, only disclose the change if it negatively impacts the property value? Or D, discuss the change with other agents before informing the client? The answer is A, inform her client about the zoning change immediately. Lisa must disclose any material facts, such as zoning changes, that could affect the property's value or use. What is the primary purpose of an agency disclosure form? Is it A, to outline the commission structure? B, to list the services provided by the agent? C, to ensure compliance with fair housing laws? Or D, to clarify the agent's role and relationship with the client? The answer is D, to clarify the agent's role and relationship with the client. An agency disclosure form is used to inform clients about the agent's role and the nature of the agency relationship. Mark, a real estate agent, is representing a buyer who is interested in a property listed by another agent in his brokerage. What must Mark disclose to his client? Is it A, the commission split between agents? B, the dual agency situation within the brokerage? C, the seller's financial situation? Or D, the listing agent's marketing strategy? The answer is B, the dual agency situation within the brokerage. Mark must disclose any potential conflicts of interest, including the dual agency situation within the brokerage. What is the duty of an agent to act in the best interest of their client called? Is it A, duty of loyalty? B, duty of care? C, duty of disclosure? Or D, duty of confidentiality? The answer is A, duty of loyalty. The duty to act in the best interest of the client is known as the duty of loyalty. This fiduciary duty requires agents to prioritize their clients' interests above their own. Which duty requires an agent to inform their client of all material facts related to a transaction? Is it A, duty of loyalty? B, duty of disclosure? C, duty of care? Or D, duty of confidentiality? The answer is B, duty of disclosure. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The duty of disclosure is often confused with the duty of loyalty. While loyalty involves prioritizing the client's interests, disclosure specifically requires informing clients of all material facts. Anna, a real estate agent, discovers a defect in a property she is selling. What is her duty regarding this information? Is it A, ignore the defect to protect the seller's interests? B, only disclose the defect if asked by a buyer? C, disclose the defect to potential buyers? Or D, fix the defect without informing anyone? The answer is C, disclose the defect to potential buyers. Anna must disclose the defect to potential buyers as part of her duty of disclosure. This ensures that all parties are aware of material facts that could affect the transaction. What is the obligation of an agent to keep a client's information private called? Is it A, duty of loyalty, B, duty of care, C, duty of disclosure, or D, duty of confidentiality? The answer is D, duty of confidentiality. The duty of confidentiality requires agents to keep client information private, both during and after the agency relationship. Michael, a real estate agent, is representing a seller who has received multiple offers. What must Michael do to comply with his fiduciary duties? Is it A, select the best offer for the seller, B, present all offers to the seller, C, only present offers above the asking price, or D, negotiate with buyers before informing the seller? The answer is B, present all offers to the seller. Michael must present all offers to the seller to comply with his duty of disclosure, ensuring the seller can make an informed decision. What is the primary purpose of an agency disclosure form in real estate transactions? Is it A, to outline the commission structure, B, to inform clients about the agency relationship and duties, C, to provide a list of potential buyers, or D, to guarantee the sale of a property? The answer is B, to inform clients about the agency relationship and duties. An agency disclosure form is used to inform clients about the nature of the agency relationship and the duties owed to them by the agent. Which duty requires an agent to act with reasonable care and skill in a real estate transaction? Is it A, duty of loyalty, B, duty of obedience, C, duty of care, or D, duty of disclosure? The answer is C, duty of care. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The duty of care is often confused with loyalty or obedience, but it specifically involves acting with competence and diligence. Jessica, a real estate agent, is aware of a pending zoning change that could affect a property's value. What should she do to fulfill her fiduciary obligations? Is it A, disclose the zoning change to her client, B, wait until the zoning change is finalized, C, keep the information confidential, or D, discuss the change only if the client asks? The answer is A, disclose the zoning change to her client. Jessica must disclose material facts, such as zoning changes, to her client to fulfill her duty of disclosure. What is the duty of loyalty in a real estate agency relationship? Is it A, to disclose all offers to the client, B, to maintain confidentiality of client information, C, to act with reasonable care and skill, or D, to prioritize the client's interests above all others? The answer is D, to prioritize the client's interests above all others. The duty of loyalty requires agents to prioritize their clients' interests above their own or others. David, a real estate agent, receives a higher offer on a property after his client has accepted a lower one. What should David do to comply with his fiduciary duties? Is it A, Ignore the new offer, since a contract is already in place. B. Inform his client about the new offer. C. Advise the new buyer to wait until the current deal falls through. Or D. Negotiate with the new buyer without informing his client. The answer is B. Inform his client about the new offer. David must inform his client of the new offer to ensure they can make an informed decision. Alex, a real estate agent, is representing a seller who has received an offer from a buyer. The buyer's agent informs Alex that the buyer is willing to increase the offer if necessary. What should Alex do to fulfill his fiduciary obligations? Is it A. Keep the information confidential to maintain the buyer's trust? B. Inform the seller about the buyer's willingness to increase the offer? C. Negotiate directly with the buyer to secure a higher offer? Or D. Wait for the buyer to submit a higher offer before informing the seller? The answer is B. Inform the seller about the buyer's willingness to increase the offer. Alex must disclose the buyer's willingness to increase the offer to his client, the seller, as it is a material fact that could affect the seller's decision. Broker supervision, trust funds, advertising rules, and compliance. What is the primary purpose of a trust fund in real estate brokerage operations? Is it A. To hold client funds separately from the broker's personal funds? B. To provide a reserve for the broker's business expenses? C. To invest in real estate on behalf of the brokerage? Or D. To pay for advertising and marketing costs? The answer is A. To hold client funds separately from the broker's personal funds. Trust funds are used to hold client funds separately from the broker's personal or business funds, ensuring they are protected and used only for their intended purpose. Which of the following is a requirement for a broker when supervising agents? Is it A. Providing marketing materials? B. Setting commission rates? C. Ensuring compliance with laws and regulations? Or D. Organizing team-building events? The answer is C. Ensuring compliance with laws and regulations. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The options include tasks that are part of general management, but not specific to supervision. Supervision requires ensuring compliance with laws and regulations. A broker notices an agent has been using misleading advertising. What should the broker do to comply with advertising rules? Is it A. Ignore the issue as long as no complaints are received? B. Instruct the agent to correct the misleading information immediately? C. Report the agent to the real estate board immediately? Or D. Allow the agent to continue if the ads are generating leads? The answer is B. Instruct the agent to correct the misleading information immediately. The broker must ensure all advertising is truthful and compliant with regulations, which includes correcting misleading information. What is a broker's responsibility regarding the handling of trust funds? Is it A. To use trust funds for office expenses if necessary? B. To invest trust funds in high-yield accounts? C. To hold trust funds in a personal account for safekeeping? Or D. To deposit trust funds into a designated trust account promptly? The answer is D. To deposit trust funds into a designated trust account promptly. Brokers must ensure trust funds are deposited promptly into a trust account and are not commingled with personal or business funds. An agent wants to advertise a property as the best deal in town without verifying market data. What should the broker advise? Is it A. Approve the advertisement to attract more clients? B. Suggest using more general terms like great value? C. Advise the agent to verify the claim with market data first? Or D. Allow the advertisement if the seller insists on it? The answer is C. Advise the agent to verify the claim with market data first. The broker should advise the agent to verify claims with market data to ensure the advertisement is truthful and compliant with advertising rules. What is the primary responsibility of a broker when handling trust funds? Is it A, invest them for maximum return, B, keep them separate from personal or business funds, C, use them for office expenses if needed, or D, transfer them to the seller immediately? The answer is B, keep them separate from personal or business funds. Brokers must ensure trust funds are kept separate from personal or business funds to prevent commingling, which is illegal and unethical. Which of the following actions is not required of a broker's supervising agents? Is it A, providing ongoing training, B, reviewing advertising materials, C, personally attending every client meeting, or D, monitoring transaction files? The answer is C, personally attending every client meeting. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the phrasing "not required" can lead to confusion, as it asks for an exception rather than a rule. A broker discovers that an agent has deposited a client's earnest money into the brokerage's operating account. What should the broker do to rectify this situation? Is it A, transfer the funds to a trust account immediately, B, notify the client and wait for further instructions, C, leave the funds in the operating account until the transaction closes, or D, report the agent to the real estate board? The answer is A, transfer the funds to a trust account immediately. The broker must immediately transfer the funds to a trust account to correct the commingling and comply with legal requirements. What must a broker ensure when an agent creates advertising materials? Is it A, that the materials are visually appealing, B, that the materials include the agent's photo, C, that the materials are distributed widely, or D, that the materials are truthful and not misleading? The answer is D, that the materials are truthful and not misleading. Brokers must ensure that all advertising is truthful and not misleading, complying with legal and ethical standards. An agent under a broker's supervision wants to use a client's testimonial in advertising. What must the broker verify before approving this? Is it A, that the testimonial is positive, B, that the testimonial is recent, C, that the client has given written consent, or D, that the testimonial includes the client's full name? The answer is C, that the client has given written consent. The broker must ensure the client has given written consent to use their testimonial to comply with privacy and advertising laws. What is the primary role of a broker in supervising agents? Is it A, to manage all client interactions directly, B, to ensure agents comply with legal and ethical standards, C, to handle all financial transactions personally, or D, to provide marketing materials for agents? The answer is B, to ensure agents comply with legal and ethical standards. A broker's primary role in supervising agents is to ensure compliance with legal and ethical standards, providing guidance and oversight to prevent violations. A broker is reviewing an agent's advertisement claiming guaranteed returns on investment. What should the broker do to ensure compliance? Is it A, approve the advertisement if the agent insists, B, ignore the claim as it is common in marketing, C, require evidence to support the claim before approval, or D, suggest using more aggressive language? The answer is C, require evidence to support the claim before approval. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the term guaranteed is misleading in real estate advertising, and the broker must ensure claims are substantiated. An agent under a broker's supervision has received a client's earnest money. What should the agent do to comply with trust fund regulations? Is it A, deposit it into a trust account immediately? B, hold it until the transaction closes? C, deposit it into the brokerage's operating account? Or D, return it to the client for safekeeping? The answer is A, deposit it into a trust account immediately. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, trust fund regulations require immediate deposit into a trust account, which can be overlooked if not closely supervised. A broker discovers an agent has been using outdated market data in advertisements. What action should the broker take to ensure compliance? Is it A, ignore the issue if no complaints have been made? B, allow the agent to continue using the data? C, advise the agent to use more persuasive language? Or D, instruct the agent to update the data immediately? The answer is D, instruct the agent to update the data immediately. The broker should instruct the agent to update the data to ensure all advertising is accurate and current, maintaining compliance with advertising rules. An agent wants to use a client's photo in an advertisement. What must the broker ensure before approving this? Is it A, the photo is high quality? B, the client has given written consent? C, the advertisement is visually appealing? Or D, the client is aware of the advertisement? The answer is B, the client has given written consent. The broker must ensure that the agent has obtained written consent from the client to use their photo, protecting privacy and complying with advertising rules. What is a broker's responsibility when it comes to advertising rules? Is it A, allow agents to create any advertisement they wish? B, only review advertisements if a complaint is received? C, ensure all advertisements are truthful and compliant? Or D, approve advertisements based on agents' reputation? The answer is C, ensure all advertisements are truthful and compliant. Brokers must ensure that all advertising is truthful and not misleading. This includes verifying claims and ensuring compliance with all applicable laws and regulations. In terms of trust fund handling, what is a broker's primary obligation? Is it A, to invest the funds for maximum return? B, to keep trust funds separate from personal accounts? C, to use the funds for business expenses? Or D, to ensure funds are deposited within 30 days? The answer is B, to keep trust funds separate from personal accounts. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term primary obligation can mislead. While maintaining accurate records is crucial, the primary obligation is to ensure funds are not commingled with personal or business accounts. A broker, Alex, discovers that an agent, Jamie, has been using outdated information in property listings. What should Alex do to ensure compliance with advertising rules? Is it A, instruct Jamie to update the listings with accurate information? B, ignore the issue since no complaints have been made? C, advise Jamie to add a disclaimer about potential inaccuracies? Or D, report Jamie to the real estate board immediately? The answer is A, instruct Jamie to update the listings with accurate information. Alex should instruct Jamie to update the listings with accurate information to comply with advertising rules which require truthfulness and accuracy. Professional conduct, fair housing, and anti-discrimination laws. What is the primary purpose of the Fair Housing Act? Is it A, to prevent discrimination in housing based on protected classes? B, to regulate the pricing of rental properties? C, to provide subsidies for low-income housing? Or D, to enforce zoning laws? The answer is A, to prevent discrimination in housing based on protected classes. The Fair Housing Act aims to eliminate discrimination in housing based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex, familial status, or disability. Which of the following is not considered a protected class under the Fair Housing Act? Is it A, race, B, disability, C, age, or D, familial status? The answer is C, age. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, age is often confused as a protected class, but it is not covered under the Fair Housing Act. A real estate agent is showing homes to a family and avoids certain neighborhoods based on the family's ethnicity. What law is the agent potentially violating? Is it A, the Americans with Disabilities Act, B, the Fair Housing Act, C, the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, or D, the Civil Rights Act of 1964? The answer is B, the Fair Housing Act. The agent is potentially violating the Fair Housing Act, which prohibits steering clients based on race or ethnicity. Which of the following actions is considered steering in real estate? Is it A, offering a discount on commission fees, B, providing a list of all available properties, C, recommending a home inspection service, or D, directing clients to specific neighborhoods based on their race? The answer is D, directing clients to specific neighborhoods based on their race. Steering involves guiding clients towards or away from certain neighborhoods based on race or other protected characteristics. A landlord refuses to rent to a single mother, citing concerns about noise from children. What fair housing principle is potentially being violated? Is it A, discrimination based on national origin, B, discrimination based on disability, C, discrimination based on familial status, or D, discrimination based on religion? The answer is C, discrimination based on familial status. Refusing to rent based on familial status, such as having children, violates the Fair Housing Act. What is the primary objective of the Equal Credit Opportunity Act in real estate transactions? Is it A, to regulate interest rates on mortgages, B, to prohibit discrimination in lending based on protected characteristics, C, to standardize mortgage application processes, or D, to provide grants for first-time homebuyers? The answer is B, to prohibit discrimination in lending based on protected characteristics. The Equal Credit Opportunity Act aims to prevent discrimination in lending based on protected characteristics, ensuring fair access to credit. Which of the following actions could be considered a violation of the Fair Housing Act? Is it A, offering a discount to veterans, B, refusing to rent to smokers, C, charging higher rent to families with children, or D, providing different lease terms to pet owners? The answer is C, charging higher rent to families with children. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the Fair Housing Act covers a range of discriminatory practices, and some actions may seem benign, but are actually discriminatory. A real estate agent advises a client to avoid a neighborhood due to its high crime rate, which predominantly affects a minority community. What fair housing principle might this advice violate? Is it A, steering, B, blockbusting, C, redlining, or D, panic selling? The answer is A, steering. This scenario involves steering, where an agent influences a client's choice based on racial or ethnic composition, violating fair housing laws. Which federal law requires real estate professionals to provide equal housing opportunities regardless of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin? Is it A, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, B, the Americans with Disabilities Act, C, the Equal Employment Opportunity Act, or D, the Fair Housing Act? The answer is D, the Fair Housing Act. The Fair Housing Act mandates equal housing opportunities and prohibits discrimination based on specified protected classes. A landlord refuses to rent to a tenant because they have a service animal, citing a no pets policy. What legal principle is potentially being violated? Is it A, redlining, B, reasonable accommodation, C, steering, or D, blockbusting? The answer is B, reasonable accommodation. This scenario involves a potential violation of the Fair Housing Act, which requires reasonable accommodations for service animals. What is the primary function of the Equal Housing Opportunity logo in real estate advertising? Is it A, to indicate a property is available for rent, B, to show the property has been inspected, C, to demonstrate compliance with fair housing laws, or D, to highlight luxury housing? The answer is C, to demonstrate compliance with fair housing laws. The Equal Housing Opportunity logo signifies compliance with fair housing laws, ensuring non-discrimination in housing-related activities. Which of the following actions is considered blockbusting in real estate? Is it A, encouraging investment in a growing neighborhood, B, suggesting homeowners sell due to incoming minority groups, C, offering renovation advice to increase property value, or D, discussing local school ratings with potential buyers? The answer is B, suggesting homeowners sell due to incoming minority groups. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, blockbusting involves inducing panic selling by suggesting demographic changes, not merely discussing neighborhood trends. A real estate agent refuses to show properties in a certain area to a couple because they have children. What fair housing principle is potentially being violated? Is it A, discrimination based on familial status, B, discrimination based on age, C, discrimination based on marital status, or D, discrimination based on income level? The answer is A, discrimination based on familial status. Discrimination based on familial status is prohibited under fair housing laws, protecting families with children from such practices. Which federal law prohibits discrimination in housing based on disability? Is it A, Civil Rights Act of 1964, B, Americans with Disabilities Act, C, Equal Credit Opportunity Act, or D, Fair Housing Amendments Act of 1988? The answer is D, Fair Housing Amendments Act of 1988. The Fair Housing Amendments Act of 1988 specifically added protections against discrimination based on disability. A landlord requires a higher security deposit from tenants who are immigrants. What fair housing principle might this practice violate? Is it A, discrimination based on race, B, discrimination based on religion, C, discrimination based on national origin, or D, discrimination based on gender? The answer is C, discrimination based on national origin. Requiring different terms based on national origin is discriminatory under fair housing laws. A real estate agent is helping a client find a rental property and suggests avoiding certain areas due to the racial composition of the neighborhood. What fair housing principle is the agent potentially violating? Is it A, blockbusting, B, steering, C, redlining, or D, disparate impact? The answer is B, steering. This scenario involves steering, which is directing clients to or away from certain areas based on race, a violation of fair housing laws.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? The next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsey.ai. You'll get immediate help, complimentary study sessions, and access to hundreds of additional questions. It's the best tool to help you pass with confidence.
Contracts, transfer, and transaction essentials. What is required for a contract to be considered legally binding? Is it A, only an offer and acceptance? B, offer, acceptance, consideration, and mutual intent? C, consideration and mutual intent only? Or D, a written document? The answer is B, offer, acceptance, consideration, and mutual intent. A legally binding contract requires an offer, acceptance, consideration, and mutual intent to be bound. Without these elements, a contract may not be enforceable. Can a contract be valid if one party was unaware of a key term? Is it A, yes, as long as the contract is signed? B, no, both parties must know all terms? C, yes, if the term was reasonably disclosed? Or D, no, unless the term is minor? The answer is C, yes, if the term was reasonably disclosed. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. A contract can be valid if the unaware party had the opportunity to know the term but failed to do so. Actual knowledge isn't always necessary if reasonable notice was given. Alice agrees to sell her car to Bob, but later decides not to. Bob sues for breach of contract. What must Bob prove to succeed? Is it A, existence of a valid contract, breach, and damages? B, Alice's intent to deceive? C, Bob's reliance on the contract? Or D, Alice's financial gain from the breach? The answer is A, existence of a valid contract, breach, and damages. Bob must prove that a valid contract existed, Alice breached it, and he suffered damages as a result. These are the basic elements required to establish a breach of contract claim. What is the primary remedy for breach of contract? Is it A, specific performance? B, rescission? C, injunction? Or D, damages? The answer is D, damages. The primary remedy for breach of contract is damages, which compensate the non-breaching party for losses incurred due to the breach. Tom signs a contract to buy a house, but later discovers the seller misrepresented the property's condition. What legal action can Tom take? Is it A, sue for specific performance? B, seek rescission of the contract? C, demand punitive damages? Or D, file for an injunction? The answer is B, seek rescission of the contract. Tom can seek rescission of the contract due to misrepresentation, which allows him to cancel the contract and be restored to his pre-contract position. What is the legal term for the mutual exchange of promises or performances in a contract? Is it A, offer? B, consideration? C, acceptance? Or D, capacity? The answer is B, consideration. Consideration is the legal term for the mutual exchange of promises or performances that forms the basis of a contract. If a contract is formed under duress, what is its legal status? Is it A, valid? B, void? C, voidable? Or D, enforceable? The answer is C, voidable. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, duress affects the validity of a contract, making it voidable, not void or valid. John signs a contract to purchase a rare book from Sarah, but later discovers it is a replica. What remedy is John most likely to seek? Is it A, rescission? B, specific performance? C, damages? Or D, reformation? The answer is A, rescission. John is likely to seek rescission to cancel the contract due to misrepresentation. Which element is not required for a contract to be valid? Is it A, offer? B, acceptance? C, consideration? Or D, written form? The answer is D, written form. A contract does not require a written form to be valid unless specified by law. Emily agrees to paint Tom's house by June 1st, but she finishes on June 5th. What is Tom's best course of action? Is it A, cancel the contract, B, claim damages, C, demand specific performance, or D, seek rescission? The answer is B, claim damages. Tom can claim damages for the delay if it caused him a loss, as the contract was breached. What is the legal effect of a contract formed without consideration? Is it A, the contract is automatically void, B, the contract is unenforceable, C, the contract is valid but voidable, or D, the contract is valid if both parties agree? The answer is B, the contract is unenforceable. Consideration is a fundamental element of a valid contract. Without it, the contract is generally unenforceable, as it lacks the mutual exchange of value required by law. If a contract is signed under a mutual mistake about a material fact, what is its status? Is it A, the contract is voidable, B, the contract is void, C, the contract is valid and enforceable, or D, the contract is automatically rescinded? The answer is A, the contract is voidable. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, mutual mistakes about material facts can render a contract voidable, not void, as parties may choose to affirm or rescind it. Jane enters into a contract to buy a painting from Mark, but Mark later refuses to deliver the painting. What remedy is Jane most likely to seek? Is it A, compensatory damages, B, punitive damages, C, specific performance, or D, rescission? The answer is C, specific performance. Specific performance is often sought in cases involving unique items like art, where monetary damages are inadequate. Which element is essential for a contract to be considered valid? Is it A, written documentation, B, witness signatures, C, notarization, or D, mutual assent? The answer is D, mutual assent. A valid contract requires mutual assent, consideration, capacity, and legality. Without any of these, the contract may not be enforceable. Tom agrees to sell his bike to Jerry, but Jerry later finds out the bike is stolen. What is Jerry's best legal option? Is it A, seek specific performance, B, rescind the contract, C, claim compensatory damages, or D, enforce the contract? The answer is B, rescind the contract. Jerry can rescind the contract due to the illegality of selling stolen goods, which voids the agreement. What is the legal consequence if a contract is formed without mutual assent? Is it A, the contract is automatically enforceable, B, the contract is void and unenforceable, C, the contract is valid but voidable, or D, the contract can be enforced with additional consideration? The answer is B, the contract is void and unenforceable. Mutual assent is essential for a contract to be valid. Without it, the contract is void and unenforceable. If a contract is signed under undue influence, what is its legal status? Is it A, the contract is valid and enforceable, B, the contract is void, C, the contract is voidable, or D, the contract is automatically rescinded? The answer is C, the contract is voidable. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Undue influence makes a contract voidable, not void, as the influence party can choose to affirm or rescind the contract. Sarah agrees to sell her antique vase to John, but later discovers it was appraised at a much higher value than she thought. She refuses to complete the sale. What is John's best legal remedy? Is it A, seek specific performance to enforce the sale, B, Claim damages for breach of contract. C. Rescind the contract and demand restitution. Or D. Negotiate a new contract with Sarah. The answer is A. Seek specific performance to enforce the sale. John can seek specific performance to compel Sarah to honor the contract, as the vase is unique and damages may not suffice. Purchase agreements, contingencies, disclosures, and timelines. What is the primary purpose of a contingency in a real estate purchase agreement? Is it A. to allow the buyer to withdraw if specific conditions aren't met? B. to guarantee the seller receives the full asking price? C. to ensure the property is sold as is? Or D. to provide a timeline for the closing process? The answer is A. to allow the buyer to withdraw if specific conditions aren't met. Contingencies protect buyers by allowing them to back out of the contract if certain conditions aren't met, such as financing or inspections. In a purchase agreement, what is the effect of a time is of the essence clause? Is it A. it allows for flexible deadlines? B. it extends the closing date automatically if needed? C. it requires the buyer to pay a penalty for delays? Or D. it makes deadlines strictly enforceable? The answer is D. It makes deadlines strictly enforceable. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The phrase implies urgency, but it specifically means that deadlines are strictly enforceable. John is buying a house and discovers a major plumbing issue during inspection. The purchase agreement includes an inspection contingency. What can John do next? Is it A. proceed with the purchase without changes? B. negotiate repairs or withdraw from the contract? C. ignore the issue as contingencies are non-binding? Or D. request a new inspection at his own expense? The answer is B. negotiate repairs or withdraw from the contract. John can negotiate repairs or a price reduction, or he can withdraw from the contract due to the inspection contingency. What must a seller disclose in a real estate transaction? Is it A. all personal opinions about the neighborhood? B. the lowest price they are willing to accept? C. known material defects of the property? Or D. the reason for selling the property? The answer is C. known material defects of the property. Sellers must disclose known material defects that could affect the property's value or desirability. Emily is selling her home and has received multiple offers. She wants to accept one, but is concerned about the buyer's financing. What contingency should she prioritize in the purchase agreement? Is it A. financing contingency? B. inspection contingency? C. appraisal contingency? Or D. title contingency? The answer is A. financing contingency. A financing contingency protects the seller by ensuring the buyer can secure a loan before the sale is finalized. What is the primary function of a disclosure in a real estate transaction? Is it A. to negotiate the price of the property? B. to inform the buyer of known property issues? C. to finalize the terms of the purchase agreement? Or D. to provide a timeline for closing? The answer is B. to inform the buyer of known property issues. Disclosures are meant to inform the buyer of any known issues or facts about the property that could affect its value or desirability. In a purchase agreement, what does a financing contingency typically allow a buyer to do? Is it A. renegotiate the purchase price if financing is unavailable? B. extend the closing date until financing is secured? C. withdraw from the contract if financing cannot be obtained? Or D. force the seller to provide financing options? The answer is C. withdraw from the contract if financing cannot be obtained. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Financing contingencies are often misunderstood. They allow buyers to back out if they can't secure financing. not to renegotiate terms or extend deadlines. Sarah is buying a home and the seller has disclosed a roof leak. The purchase agreement includes a repair contingency. What should Sarah do before proceeding? Is it A, ensure the seller repairs the roof before closing? B, ignore the issue since it's already disclosed? C, negotiate a lower price instead of repairs? Or D, proceed with the purchase and fix the roof later? The answer is A, ensure the seller repairs the roof before closing. Sarah should ensure the seller repairs the roof before closing, as the repair contingency allows her to require this before finalizing the purchase. What is a common timeline for a buyer to complete a home inspection after signing a purchase agreement? Is it A, 24 hours, B, 3 days, C, 30 days, or D, 7 to 10 days? The answer is D, 7 to 10 days. Typically, buyers have 7 to 10 days to complete a home inspection after signing the purchase agreement, allowing time to address any issues found. Tom is selling his house and receives an offer with a contingency for the buyer's home sale. What should Tom consider before accepting this offer? Is it A, the buyer's credit score, B, the likelihood of the buyer's home selling, C, the buyer's employment history, or D, the current interest rates? The answer is B, the likelihood of the buyer's home selling. Tom should consider the risk of the buyer's home not selling, which could delay or cancel the transaction. What is the primary function of a purchase agreement in a real estate transaction? Is it A, to provide a list of available properties, B, to outline the terms and conditions of the sale, C, to determine the market value of the property, or D, to finalize the transfer of property ownership? The answer is B, to outline the terms and conditions of the sale. A purchase agreement outlines the terms and conditions of the sale, serving as a legally binding contract between the buyer and seller. In a purchase agreement, what is the effect of a time is of the essence clause? Is it A, it allows for flexible deadlines, B, it indicates that the transaction must close within 30 days, C, it makes deadlines strictly enforceable, or D, it requires both parties to act in good faith? The answer is C, it makes deadlines strictly enforceable. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the phrase suggests urgency, but it specifically means that deadlines are strictly enforceable, not just important. Lisa is buying a condo and the seller has disclosed a pending lawsuit against the homeowners association. What should Lisa consider before proceeding with the purchase? Is it A, the color of the condo's exterior, B, the proximity to local amenities, C, the current interest rates, or D, the potential financial impact of the lawsuit? The answer is D, the potential financial impact of the lawsuit. Lisa should consider the potential financial impact of the lawsuit on future assessments or fees, which could affect her ownership costs. What is a common contingency included in real estate purchase agreements? Is it A, financing contingency, B, weather contingency, C, color scheme contingency, or D, furniture contingency? The answer is A, financing contingency. A financing contingency is common, allowing the buyer to back out if they cannot secure a mortgage. Mark is selling his home, and the buyer has requested an extension on the inspection contingency deadline. What should Mark consider before agreeing? Is it A, the buyer's credit score, B, the impact on his closing timeline, C, the color of the buyer's car, or D, the buyer's employment history? The answer is B, the impact on his closing timeline. Mark should consider the impact of the extension on his timeline and whether it might delay the closing process. Jessica is purchasing a home, and the seller has disclosed a history of termite damage. The purchase agreement includes a pest inspection contingency. What should Jessica do before finalizing the purchase? Is it A, ignore the disclosure and proceed with the purchase? B, request a reduction in the purchase price immediately? C, conduct a pest inspection to evaluate the damage? Or D, cancel the purchase agreement immediately? The answer is C, conduct a pest inspection to evaluate the damage. Jessica should ensure a thorough pest inspection is conducted to assess the extent of any damage and potential costs for repairs. This will help her make an informed decision about proceeding with the purchase.
If you want more than just rapid-fire questions, head over to birdsey.ai. You can take unlimited practice exams and get instant help from your personal AI study partner. It's like having a tutor 24/7. Try it free. You'll find a link in the description.
Deeds, title issues, recording laws, and transfer obligations. What is the primary purpose of recording a deed in public records? Is it A, to guarantee the validity of the title? B, to provide public notice of ownership? C, to prevent any future title disputes? Or D, to ensure the property is free of liens? The answer is B, to provide public notice of ownership. Recording a deed provides public notice of ownership, protecting the owner's rights against future claims. It does not guarantee title validity or prevent all disputes. Which of the following is not typically required for a deed to be valid? Is it A, grantor's signature? B, legal description of the property? C, recording in public records? Or D, delivery and acceptance? The answer is C, recording in public records. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The requirement for a deed to be recorded is often misunderstood. Recording is not necessary for validity, only for public notice. John sells his property to Mary, but the deed is not recorded. Later, John sells the same property to Alex, who records the deed. Who has the stronger claim to the property? Is it A, John because he is the original owner? B, Mary because she purchased the property first? C, both Mary and Alex have equal claims? Or D, Alex because he recorded the deed? The answer is D, Alex because he recorded the deed. Alex has the stronger claim because he recorded the deed, providing public notice of his ownership, even though Mary purchased first. What is a quitclaim deed primarily used for? Is it A, to transfer any interest the grantor may have without warranties? B, to ensure the property is free of encumbrances? C, to provide a warranty of title? Or D, to transfer property with full warranties? The answer is A, to transfer any interest the grantor may have without warranties. A quitclaim deed is used to transfer any interest the grantor may have without warranties, often in family transactions or to clear title defects. Lisa buys a house and records the deed. Later, she discovers a prior unrecorded deed to another buyer. What is Lisa's likely legal standing? Is it A, Lisa's recorded deed gives her priority over the unrecorded deed? B, the unrecorded deed takes precedence because it was first? C, both deeds are invalid due to the conflict? Or D, Lisa must relinquish the property to the prior buyer? The answer is A, Lisa's recorded deed gives her priority over the unrecorded deed. Lisa's recorded deed gives her priority over the unrecorded deed, as recording provides public notice and protects her interest. What is the primary function of a warranty deed? Is it A, to transfer property without any guarantees? B, to guarantee clear title and protect against future claims? C. To transfer property with limited guarantees. Or D. To provide a temporary transfer of property rights. The answer is B. To guarantee clear title and protect against future claims. A warranty deed provides the grantee with the greatest protection, guaranteeing that the title is free from any encumbrances or claims. Which of the following is typically not included in a deed? Is it A. The grantor's signature, B. A legal description of the property, C. The purchase price of the property, or D. The grantee's name? The answer is C. The purchase price of the property. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Deeds generally include the grantor's signature, a legal description, and the grantee's name, but not the purchase price, which is often found in the sales contract. Emma buys a property from Tom and records the deed. Later, she finds out Tom had previously sold the property to Sarah, who did not record her deed. Who likely has the superior claim to the property? Is it A. Emma because she recorded her deed first, B. Sarah because she purchased the property first, C. Tom because he sold the property twice, or D. Neither, as the sales are invalid due to double selling? The answer is A. Emma because she recorded her deed first. Emma has the superior claim because she recorded her deed, providing public notice of her ownership, whereas Sarah did not. What is the effect of recording a deed in the public records? Is it A. It guarantees the title is free of defects, B. It transfers ownership of the property, C. It prevents any future sales of the property, or D. It provides public notice of the ownership change? The answer is D. It provides public notice of the ownership change. Recording a deed provides public notice of the ownership change, protecting the buyer's interest against future claims. David sells his property to Laura, who immediately records the deed. A month later, a lien is placed on David's other properties. How does this affect Laura's ownership? Is it A. Laura's ownership is void due to the lien, B. Laura's ownership is secure as she recorded the deed before the lien, C. Laura must pay the lien to maintain ownership, or D. Laura's property is now subject to the lien? The answer is B. Laura's ownership is secure as she recorded the deed before the lien. Laura's ownership is unaffected because the lien was placed after she recorded her deed, securing her title against such claims. Real estate finance, math, and settlement. What is the primary purpose of private mortgage insurance? Is it A. To reduce the interest rate on a mortgage, B. To protect the lender in case of borrower default, C. To increase the borrower's credit score, or D. To cover closing costs for the borrower? The answer is B. To protect the lender in case of borrower default. PMI is designed to protect the lender in case the borrower defaults on the loan. It is typically required when the down payment is less than 20% of the home's purchase price. Which type of loan typically requires the borrower to pay a funding fee? Is it A. Conventional loan, B. FHA loan, C. VA loan, or D. USDA loan? The answer is C. VA loan. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term funding fee might be confused with other fees, but it specifically applies to VA loans, which are guaranteed by the Department of Veterans Affairs. John is buying a home with a conventional loan and has a 15% down payment. What type of insurance might he be required to pay? Is it A. Private mortgage insurance, B. Homeowner's insurance, C. Title insurance, or D. Mortgage insurance premium? The answer is A. Private mortgage insurance. John would likely need to pay PMI because his down payment is less than 20%, which is a common requirement for conventional loans. What does the term amortization refer to in real estate finance? Is it A, the initial interest rate on a loan, B, the total amount of interest paid over the life of a loan, C, the process of refinancing a loan, or D, the gradual reduction of a loan balance through payments? The answer is D, the gradual reduction of a loan balance through payments. Amortization refers to the process of paying off a debt over time through regular payments. Each payment covers interest and reduces the principal balance. Lisa is considering an adjustable rate mortgage with a 5-1 term. What does the 5-1 indicate about her loan? Is it A, the interest rate adjusts every 5 years, B, the interest rate is fixed for 5 years, then adjusts annually, C, the loan term is 5 years with a 1-year extension option, or D, the loan is interest only for the first 5 years? The answer is B, the interest rate is fixed for 5 years, then adjusts annually. The 5-1 indicates that the interest rate is fixed for the first 5 years and then adjusts annually thereafter. What is the primary function of an escrow account in real estate transactions? Is it A, to provide insurance for the property, B, to hold funds until transaction conditions are met, C, to determine the property's market value, or D, to manage property taxes? The answer is B, to hold funds until transaction conditions are met. An escrow account holds funds on behalf of parties involved in a transaction, ensuring that conditions are met before money is released. In real estate finance, what does the term points refer to? Is it A, the percentage of the down payment, B, the interest rate on the loan, C, fees paid to reduce the interest rate, or D, the total loan amount? The answer is C, fees paid to reduce the interest rate. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, points can refer to different things in finance, but in real estate, they are fees paid to lower the interest rate. Sarah is applying for a mortgage, and her lender mentions a debt-to-income ratio. What is the lender assessing in this scenario? Is it A, the percentage of income used for debt payments, B, the total amount of debt Sarah has, C, the interest rate Sarah will receive, or D, the value of Sarah's assets? The answer is A, the percentage of income used for debt payments. The debt-to-income ratio measures the percentage of a borrower's income that goes towards debt payments, indicating their ability to manage monthly payments. What is a balloon payment in the context of real estate loans? Is it A, a penalty for early loan repayment, B, an increase in monthly payment amounts, C, a reduction in the loan interest rate, or D, a large payment due at the end of the loan term? The answer is D, a large payment due at the end of the loan term. A balloon payment is a large final payment due at the end of a loan term, often after smaller periodic payments. Tom is considering a fixed-rate mortgage for his new home. What is the main advantage of this loan type in his situation? Is it A, lower initial interest rates compared to adjustable-rate mortgages, B, predictable monthly payments over the loan term, C, flexibility to refinance at any time without penalty, or D, no requirement for private mortgage insurance? The answer is B, predictable monthly payments over the loan term. A fixed-rate mortgage offers stability with consistent payments, which can be beneficial for budgeting and financial planning. What is the primary purpose of a loan-to-value ratio in real estate finance? Is it A, to determine the interest rate on a loan, B, to assess the risk level of a loan, C, to calculate the monthly mortgage payment, or D, to establish the property's market value? The answer is B, to assess the risk level of a loan. The LTV ratio is used to assess the risk of a loan by comparing the loan amount to the appraised value of the property. A higher LTV indicates more risk. Which type of mortgage allows the borrower to pay only interest for a specified period before principal payments begin? Is it A, fixed-rate mortgage, B, adjustable-rate mortgage, C, interest-only mortgage, or D, balloon mortgage? The answer is C, interest-only mortgage. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Interest-only loans can be confused with other types due to their unique payment structure, which initially excludes principal payments. Emily is applying for a mortgage and her lender mentions a prepayment penalty. How might this affect her decision to pay off the loan early? Is it A, she may incur additional costs if she pays off the loan early, B, she will receive a discount on her remaining balance, C, her interest rate will decrease if she pays early, or D, she will be required to refinance her loan? The answer is A, she may incur additional costs if she pays off the loan early. A prepayment penalty is a fee charged for paying off a loan early, which can discourage borrowers from doing so to avoid additional costs. Mark is considering a loan with a 30-year term and a 5-year interest-only period. What should he be aware of regarding his payments after the interest-only period ends? Is it A, his payments will remain the same, B, his interest rate will reset, C, he will need to refinance the loan, or D, his payments will increase to include principal? The answer is D, his payments will increase to include principal. After the interest-only period, Mark's payments will increase as he begins to pay both principal and interest, which can significantly raise his monthly payment amount. Real estate math, prorations, interest, LTV, qualifying ratios. What is the loan-to-value ratio if a property is valued at $200,000 and the loan amount is $160,000? Is it A, 80%, B, 75%, C, 85%, or D, 90%? The answer is A, 80%. The LTV ratio is calculated by dividing the loan amount by the property value, then multiplying by 100 to get a percentage. Here, $160,000 divided by $200,000 equals 0.8 or 80%. If a borrower has a monthly income of $5,000 and monthly debt obligations of $1,500, what is their debt-to-income ratio? Is it A, 25%, B, 30%, C, 35%, or D, 40%? The answer is B, 30%. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The DTI ratio is calculated by dividing total monthly debt by gross monthly income. Here, $1,500 divided by $5,000 equals 0.3 or 30%. Sarah is buying a home for $300,000 with a 20% down payment and a 4% annual interest rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage. What is her initial loan amount? Is it A, $180,000, B, $200,000, C, $240,000, or D, $260,000? The answer is C, $240,000. The loan amount is the purchase price minus the down payment. 20% of $300,000 is $60,000, so the loan amount is $300,000 minus $60,000 equals $240,000. How is the interest portion of a mortgage payment calculated for an amortizing loan? Is it A, by dividing the principal by the interest rate, B, by multiplying the principal by the interest rate, C, by subtracting the principal from the total payment, or D, by multiplying the outstanding balance by the interest rate and dividing by periods? The answer is D, by multiplying the outstanding balance by the interest rate and dividing by periods. The interest portion is calculated by multiplying the outstanding loan balance by the interest rate, then dividing by the number of periods per year. John is selling his house and closing on June 15th. The annual property taxes are $3,600, paid in advance. How much should be credited to John at closing for taxes? Is it A, $1,950, B, $1,800, C, $2,100, or D, $2,400? The answer is A, $1,950. John has prepaid taxes for the entire year. The buyer owes him for the remaining 6.5 months. $3,600 divided by 12 times 6.5 equals $1,950. What is the loan-to-value ratio if a property is valued at $250,000 and the loan amount is $200,000? Is it A, 80%, B, 75%, C, 85%, or D, 90%? The answer is A, 80%. The LTV ratio is calculated by dividing the loan amount by the property value. Here, $200,000 divided by $250,000 equals 0.8, or 80%. If a borrower has a monthly income of $6,000 and monthly debt obligations of $2,000, what is their debt-to-income ratio? Is it A, 25%, B, 30%, C, 33.3%, or D, 40%? The answer is C, 33.3%. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The DTI ratio is calculated by dividing total monthly debt by gross monthly income. Here, $2,000 divided by $6,000 equals 0.333, or 33.3%. Emily is purchasing a home for $400,000 with a 15% down payment and a 3.5% annual interest rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage. What is her initial loan amount? Is it A, $360,000, B, $340,000, C, $320,000, or D, $380,000? The answer is B, $340,000. The initial loan amount is the purchase price minus the down payment. Here, $400,000 minus 15%, $60,000, equals $340,000. How is the interest portion of a mortgage payment calculated for an amortizing loan? Is it A, by dividing the annual interest rate by 12, B, by multiplying the principal by the interest rate, C, by subtracting the principal from the total payment, or D, by multiplying the loan balance by the interest rate and dividing by 12? The answer is D, by multiplying the loan balance by the interest rate and dividing by 12. The interest portion is calculated by multiplying the loan balance by the interest rate, then dividing by 12 for monthly payments. Mark is selling his house and closing on September 30th. The annual property taxes are $4,800, paid in arrears. How much should be credited to Mark at closing for taxes? Is it A, $3,600, B, $1,200, C, $2,400, or D, $4,800? The answer is A, $3,600. Mark should be credited for taxes from January 1 to September 30th. That's 9 months, or $3,600, $4,800 divided by 12 times 9. What is the loan-to-value ratio if a property is valued at $300,000 and the loan amount is $240,000? Is it A, 80%, B. 75%, C. 85%, or D. 90%? The answer is A. 80%. The LTV ratio is calculated by dividing the loan amount by the property value. Here, $240,000 divided by $300,000 equals 0.8, or 80%. If a borrower has a monthly income of $4,000 and monthly debt obligations of $1,200, what is their debt-to-income ratio? Is it A. 25%, B. 28%, C. 30%, or D. 35%? The answer is C. 30%. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the DTI ratio is calculated by dividing total monthly debt by gross monthly income. Here, $1,200 divided by $4,000 equals 0.3, or 30%. Lisa is purchasing a home for $500,000 with a 10% down payment and a 3% annual interest rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage. What is her initial loan amount? Is it A. $500,000, B. $450,000, C. $400,000, or D. $475,000? The answer is B. $450,000. The initial loan amount is the purchase price minus the down payment. Lisa's down payment is 10% of $500,000, which is $50,000, so her loan amount is $450,000. Tom is selling his house and closing on December 1st. The annual property taxes are $6,000, paid in arrears. How much should be credited to Tom at closing for taxes? Is it A. $500, B. $3,000, C. $5,500, or D. $6,000? The answer is D. $6,000. Tom is responsible for the taxes up to the closing date. Since the taxes are paid in arrears, he should be credited for the entire year, which is $6,000. Closing statements, escrow procedures, and RESPA TILA interactions. What is the primary purpose of the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act? Is it A. to regulate interest rates on mortgages, B. to ensure consumers receive disclosures about settlement costs, C. to determine property tax rates, or D. to manage escrow account balances? The answer is B. to ensure consumers receive disclosures about settlement costs. RESPA is designed to protect consumers by ensuring they receive important disclosures about the costs of their real estate transactions and to eliminate kickbacks that can increase the cost of settlement services. Which of the following is not a requirement under the Truth in Lending Act? Is it A. disclosure of the annual percentage rate, B. disclosure of total finance charges, C. mandating a fixed interest rate, or D. disclosure of payment schedule? The answer is C. mandating a fixed interest rate. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. TILA requires clear disclosure of credit terms, but it does not mandate the use of a specific interest rate type, such as fixed or variable. John is buying a house and his lender provides him with a loan estimate. What is the purpose of this document in the context of RESPA? Is it A. to provide a summary of key loan terms and estimated costs, B. to guarantee the loan approval, C. to finalize the interest rate, or D. to serve as a binding contract? The answer is A. to provide a summary of key loan terms and estimated costs. The loan estimate provides a summary of key loan terms and estimated loan and closing costs, helping John understand the financial obligations before finalizing the loan. What is the main function of an escrow account in real estate transactions? Is it A. to determine the property's market value, B. to negotiate the terms of the sale, C. To provide insurance for the property. Or D. To hold funds until transaction conditions are met. The answer is D. To hold funds until transaction conditions are met. An escrow account holds funds on behalf of the buyer and seller until all conditions of the transaction are met, ensuring a secure and fair process. During a closing, Sarah notices a discrepancy in the settlement statement regarding the escrow fees. What should she do to address this issue? Is it A. Ignore it and proceed with the closing? B. Contact her real estate agent after closing? C. Notify the closing agent immediately? Or D. Wait for the lender to address it? The answer is C. Notify the closing agent immediately. Sarah should immediately bring the discrepancy to the attention of the closing agent to ensure it is corrected before finalizing the transaction. What is the primary function of a closing statement in a real estate transaction? Is it A. To determine the market value of the property? B. To negotiate the terms of the mortgage? C. To itemize all financial transactions in the sale? Or D. To finalize the property inspection report? The answer is C. To itemize all financial transactions in the sale. A closing statement provides a detailed account of all financial transactions between the buyer and seller, ensuring transparency and accuracy in the final settlement. Which of the following is a requirement under RESPA regarding escrow accounts? Is it A. Monthly escrow account statements? B. Annual escrow account statements? C. Quarterly interest rate disclosures? Or D. Biannual property tax assessments? The answer is B. Annual escrow account statements. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, RESPA requires lenders to provide an annual escrow account statement, which might be confused with other periodic statements or disclosures. During a property closing, Lisa notices that the escrow account balance is higher than expected. What should she do to ensure compliance with RESPA? Is it A. Request an explanation from the lender? B. Ignore it as it will adjust automatically? C. Contact the local tax authority? Or D. File a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau? The answer is A. Request an explanation from the lender. Lisa should request an explanation from the lender, as RESPA requires transparency and accurate accounting of escrow funds. Valuation, appraisal, and market analysis. What principle of value suggests that a property's value is influenced by the cost of acquiring an equally desirable substitute property? Is it A. Principle of contribution? B. Principle of substitution? C. Principle of conformity? Or D. Principle of anticipation? The answer is B. Principle of substitution. The principle of substitution states that a property's value is determined by the cost of acquiring a similar property with the same utility. In a market where demand exceeds supply, what is the most likely effect on property values? Is it A. Property values increase? B. Property values decrease? C. Property values remain stable? Or D. Property values are unaffected? The answer is A. Property values increase. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. While increased demand typically raises prices, other factors like economic conditions can also influence values. Here, the focus is on the direct relationship between demand and price. A developer is considering building a new housing complex in an area with high demand but limited available land. What principle of value should they primarily consider? Is it A. Principle of conformity? B. Principle of contribution? C. Principle of scarcity? Or D. Principle of progression? The answer is C. Principle of scarcity. The principle of scarcity is key here as it relates to the limited availability of land, which can increase property values. Which principle of value is based on the idea that the value of a property is influenced by the future benefits it will provide? Is it A, principle of competition, B, principle of balance, C, principle of substitution, or D, principle of anticipation? The answer is D, principle of anticipation. The principle of anticipation states that value is based on expected future benefits. A homeowner is deciding whether to renovate their kitchen before selling. They want to ensure the renovation adds more value than it costs. Which principle of value should guide their decision? Is it A, principle of contribution, B, principle of substitution, C, principle of conformity, or D, principle of regression? The answer is A, principle of contribution. The principle of contribution helps determine if the cost of an improvement will add proportionally to the property's value. Appraisal approaches, sales comparison, cost, and income. What is the primary principle behind the sales comparison approach in real estate appraisal? Is it A, cost of construction, B, income potential, C, principle of substitution, or D, depreciation? The answer is C, principle of substitution. The sales comparison approach is based on the principle of substitution, which says that a buyer will not pay more for a property than the cost of acquiring a similar one. In the cost approach, which of the following is not typically considered when estimating the value of a property? Is it A, land value, B, construction costs, C, depreciation, or D, income potential? The answer is D, income potential. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the cost approach involves estimating land value, construction costs, and depreciation, but not the income potential of the property. A real estate investor is evaluating a rental property using the income approach. The property generates $50,000 in annual net operating income, and the market capitalization rate is 5%. What is the estimated value of the property? Is it A, $1 million, B, $500,000, C, $250,000, or D, $2 million? The answer is A, $1 million. The income approach estimates property value by dividing the net operating income by the capitalization rate. $50,000 divided by 0.05 equals $1 million. Which of the following best describes the income approach in real estate appraisal? Is it A, valuing based on recent sales of similar properties, B, valuing based on the income it generates, C, valuing based on replacement cost minus depreciation, or D, valuing based on the property's historical significance? The answer is B, valuing based on the income it generates. The income approach estimates property value based on the income it generates using net operating income and a capitalization rate. A homeowner is comparing their property to recent sales in the neighborhood to determine its market value. What appraisal approach are they using? Is it A, sales comparison approach, B, cost approach, C, income approach, or D, market analysis approach? The answer is A, sales comparison approach. The homeowner is using the sales comparison approach, which involves comparing the property to similar recently sold properties. CMA BPO fundamentals, adjustments, and competitive pricing. What is the primary purpose of a comparative market analysis in real estate? Is it A, to estimate the value of a property by comparing it to similar properties, B, to determine the exact selling price of a property, C, to assess the condition of a property for potential buyers, or D, to calculate the potential rental income of a property? The answer is A, to estimate the value of a property by comparing it to similar properties. A CMA is used to estimate the value of a property by comparing it to similar properties that have recently sold in the same area. It helps sellers set a competitive price and buyers make informed offers. In a broker price opinion, which factor is least likely to be adjusted when comparing properties? Is it A, square footage differences, B, number of bedrooms, C, lot size variations, or D, location within the same neighborhood? The answer is D, location within the same neighborhood. Why this question may seem a bit tricky? Adjustments are often made for differences in property features, but location is typically a primary factor considered first, not adjusted. A real estate agent is preparing a CMA for a client selling a home in a rapidly appreciating market. How should the agent adjust the comparable sales to reflect current market conditions? Is it A, adjust the comparables downward to attract more buyers, B, use the original sale prices without adjustments, C, adjust the comparables upward to account for market appreciation, or D, exclude any comparables older than 6 months? The answer is C, adjust the comparables upward to account for market appreciation. In a rapidly appreciating market, the agent should adjust comparables upward to reflect the increase in property values since the sales occurred.
Thanks for watching. If you found this exam review helpful, be sure to subscribe for more real-world practice and topic-focused study videos. And visit birdsey.ai to start your free trial of Birdsey, your AI-powered study partner.